Let's give this a try. I have a line here just to make it more interesting. I gave it a end cap, a round end cap, and now I'll assign a effect, path, outline, stroke. You don't see. Oh, I've already done that, so I'll just say cancel here, but we can verify that it's in the appearance panel, outline, stroke. It doesn't make anything look different, but it will allow the stroke to be distorted, the end caps to be distorted. So now I'll go to Object, Envelope Distort with Mesh, and we'll start out with one row and one column. And now you see that path has been encompassed by what looks like a rectangle. Now I'm going to hit A to get my direct select tool. If I clicked on one endpoint, you would see direction lines associated with that endpoint, and I could move them individually. But that's not what I want to do. I want to actually trying to work in a small area of my there we go. I want to distort the whole mesh. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to go over here and get the shear tool. Now the shear tool by default centers on the selection, which is fine in this case. If I hold the shift key now to constrain and move my cursor over to the side and then drag up, it will constrain that distortion. And if I just don't hold the shift key and drag diagonally, it'll do weird things. So you have to be careful that you are holding the shift key to control the distortion. Now if I want to control one end of this separately, I could, using the direct select again, drag across two endpoints. Now I hold the shift key and I can distort them in the opposite direction, kind of get a perspective look going on. And if I select all, and I'm just going to hit scale, S for scale, and then move up, I can distort it any way I want. At any time I could add to, it's really, we're doing similar effects as the profile would the profile tool or stroke profile would do, except the stroke profile would not distort the end caps like this method does. If I want to add a more complex mesh to this now, I could choose, just click U to get the mesh tool, and I could click either in the center, or if I just wanted to break this into two rows, click on the edge of the mesh. Now I've got I've got two rows of mesh which I could distort. Again, I'm holding Command to get my, I by default hold Command, say if this is an aside, but if I have the pen tool and I hold the Command key down, or the Alt key, no, Command, yeah, the Command key on PC or Mac, I guess. What's it called on the PC? Anyway, that will toggle me to the last selection tool. Since my last selection tool was a direct select, that's what I get. Now I can drag across and get just those two anchor points for the mesh line. Now again, if I hold the, since they're already selected, hold the Command key again, click on the one of those two, I can move both of them at the same time. I can also distort those. I'm going to get the shear tool again, and now if I shear and constrain it to an up angle, you don't see really the effect of that, but if I went in and edited the path, I'm going to hold Option Command P to go in and edit the path itself. And now I'll give, what am I in here? I have CS5 and okay, I'm in CC, so I could give that stroke a gradient. So let's say, if I can find my gradient, there we go. Focus on the path and give it a simple gradient, and tell the gradient I want it to be 90 degrees. So you can see some, or if I want to make that gradient like this. And let's do this. And there's too many options. Okay. Now I can go back to distorting the mesh by Option Command P. Toggles me between those two options. Interesting, that gradient has forced that the end points to go way far away from the edge of the mesh, but that's one of the. Now move that. Now I'm gonna again distort that horizontally. You see what you can do with this. Now the reason that's not going down is because the gradient that I've assigned to that path is extending past the end of the path itself. If I went back to edit the path and turned off the end caps, I think you'd find it would go to the ends. Yeah. So anyway, you win some, you lose some. Bye-bye.